I am on page 76 of the textbook. This is the lesson review, and we have some vocabulary terms to review. Number 1, the probability of two or more simple events happening is a or an. This is compound probability. When you have two or more, you have compound probability. Number 2, blank is the study of how likely it is for an event to occur. And this is probability. Number 3, a or an blank is a way to show possible outcomes that resembles a branching tree. And that's my not so favorite tree diagram. Number 4. You flip a coin 15 times. The probability that on the 16th flip it will be heads is a or an independent event. The 16th event stands alone. It doesn't depend on the first 15 events in any way. The probability that today is not Tuesday is the blank of the probability that today is Tuesday. The opposite probability is the complement. An event that depends on the result of a prior event is a or an dependent event. Dependent event. Number 1 at the bottom, the skills review. Read each problem and complete the task. There are an apple, orange, and pear in a fruit basket. Marcus randomly selects one piece of fruit to eat each day. What is the probability that Marcus will choose an apple before choosing a pear? Now, this is sort of like that situation where we had the folks going to the movies or the show, whatever, where we had to do a table of values. I liked that one, so I'm going to do that here. Let me try to line it up a little bit better. Okay, so Marcus is going to eat 3 pieces of fruit over 3 days. So we have 3 days. We have an apple, an orange, and a pear. So he could eat them in that order. He could eat the apple, then the orange, and then the pear. Or he could eat the apple, the pear, and then the orange. That is definitely a possibility. He could eat the pear, then the apple, then the orange. Or he could eat the pear, the orange, and the apple. Or he could eat the orange first, then the pear, then the apple. Or the orange first, then the apple, and then the pear. And the question is, what is the probability that Marcus will eat the apple or choose the apple before the pear. So let's go back and highlight anywhere that the apple is before the pear. So here we have it. The apple is before the pear. Here we have the apple before the pear. Then we have pear, apple, orange, pear, apple, orange, apple, pear. So there are 3 situations out of the 6 rows that we built, which is 3 out of 6. That is also, let me do it right here, 1/2. Which is 0.5 or 50% for number 1. The answer is 1/2, 0.5, or 50%. You could write it in either of those forms. Number 2. There is a bag of 4 red marbles. I'm going to draw this one. That's a pitiful looking bag, isn't it? Okay, there's a marble. And there are 4 red ones. Whoa. That clearly did not go as planned. Okay, so let's make 4 red ones. And I encourage you to do this. It helps you to think through what's going on here. If I had thought through it, I would have colored it before I copied it, wouldn't I? So 4 red marbles. 5 blue. I'm going to color this one before. I duplicate it. You can fast forward if you're getting impatient with me here. I can totally understand if you are. So let's bring those in. And 1 white one. 4, 5, and 1. So how many total marbles are there? 10. Wendy draws a marble and then places it back in the bag. Then Peter draws a marble. What is the probability that both Wendy and Peter draw a blue marble? So Wendy draws blue and Peter draws blue. Well, the probability that Wendy drew blue is 5 out of 10. She replaces the marble, puts it back in there. And so the probability that Peter draws blue is also 5 out of 10. And means multiply. So 5 out of 10 times 5 out of 10 is 25 out of 100. Or 1 out of 4, which is 0.25 or 25%. And again, you could express it in any of those forms. All of them are acceptable. I think it'll be in a fraction, but we'll check here in just a minute and see. Number 3. Daniel, Tiana, Elise, Mary, and Robert put their names on slips of paper and put the papers in a box. What is the probability that Tiana's name will be picked? So we want to know the probability that Tiana will be the name drawn. So put all of your options up here. We want Tiana's name to be drawn. And there are Daniel, Tiana, Elise, Mary, and Robert. That's 5 names. So the probability is 1 out of 5, or 0.2, or 20% that Tiana's name will be drawn. Again, you could write your answer in any of those